In this video, I will be sharing with you the 5 lessons that I've learned after 365 days of building apps, mobile apps, web apps, and programming in general for clients and for myself. If you don't know who I am, my name is Bogdan and I'm a programmer with over 8 years of experience. I love building cool stuff that solve real life problems, and currently I'm helping businesses modernize through building apps that attract and retain customers and that also simplify and optimize old outdated processes like writing on paper or Excel sheets inside of service-based businesses. I also love indie hacking. I've built and launched my own app. It's called Work. Let me know if you want a link of it. It wasn't very successful, but I'm learning a lot, and let's just get right into what I've learned this past year. So I have a whiteboard behind the camera and I ranked them from 1 to 5. Initially I said this would be lesson number 5, but I think this is lesson number 1 because it's actually so important, and that is to solve a problem. Your app, whether you're building it for your own business or you're trying to build your own startup, your app needs to solve an actual problem. I don't want you to build an app that in your head seems cool, seems like it would be useful, and in reality people don't actually desperately need your thing. So for example, I've seen this on YouTube. This app failed. I don't know exactly what the guy's name is, but he's a tech YouTuber. I don't know, I think he's in Dubai right now. I don't want to steal his thing. Yeah, this is his credit. So he built this startup to sort Google Chrome tabs. So whenever you work on your computer and you have your browser open, you have 1,000 tabs, and that app would sort your tabs. And that's the prime example of something that people might want, but they don't desperately need. So it's not something that is actually burning the users, burning the clients right now. It's something more, maybe it's nice to have, but the positive doesn't outweigh the effort that they have to put into just download the app and learn its interface and how to use it and how it works. And it's just more complicated and less desirable than solving this one problem, as opposed to, for example, a gas station chain mobile app that gives you points and ranks, and the higher your points and ranks are, the higher your discount is on gas, on diesel, on refueling your car. Well, it's actually really genius if you think about it, because you need gas, you need diesel, you need it because you depend on your car for transportation. If you don't, this app is not for you. But for this particular audience, you need gas. And gas prices are constantly rising. It's actually very expensive to own a car. Maintenance, taxes, and now even fuel is going up, and you want some discounts, and this is exactly what it's doing. It's giving you nice discounts for spending more money. It's a genius idea, and this perfectly blends into the next lesson, which is to use these kinds of special documents to figure out what kind of features you would add into your app for maximum profit and potential. A lot of people, developers or business owners, when they want to build an app for their business, they start thinking about a lot of cool features that you want to add, because you want to make your app as valuable and as useful as possible. And in most of the world, and most people, maybe you included, think that more equals better. But in the world of app development, where every single feature adds at least 10 hours of development onto the app and makes you launch later and makes your app harder to digest and harder to learn, this might not be the case. That's why I recommend everybody to use 2 separate documents for your app. One document which is going to be titled the V1 document, in which you will write all the essential 80-20 principle features for your app. Think about what features are literally going to break your app if they're not in there. Think about this. Just imagine it like a hypothetical scenario. If you had, even if you don't have to pay 10K for it, if you had to pay $10,000 more for the app just because of this one feature, would you still add it? If not, then it belongs onto the second document. And the second document is going to be a document titled V2 Your App or V2 Features. And in there, you're going to dump all of your possible ideas, all your possible next features, things to perfect into your app for the future. Because if you let these features distract you from the main plan, from the V1 plan, you're gonna slow down your development. It's exactly like a employee, like a worker working and checking TikTok at the same time, maybe every 20 minutes. You are breaking your focus, you are breaking your momentum, and it's gonna take way longer to do the same thing. I actually use this on my own app, on my own startup. So my last app was called Work, and here I have this. So we have Work V1, Work V2 Brain Dump, and then the other documents which are for the landing page and marketing strategy. So we're gonna enter the Brain Dump, and I'm just gonna read a bunch of features. So add Discord style app bar, add an end day button which freezes the app, strict system. It was a task list app, productivity app with a twist on it because you could assign reps and XP to every single task, and you had a calendar view and you could see exactly how many reps you have earned on each day of the year, and you could compare weeks and statistics. It was pretty cool, but nobody really desperately needed it. See, that's lesson 1. The third lesson is a little bit more technical, but it's still more strategic than technical, and that is what tech should you use to build your app. So when you are building mobile apps, for example, because my biggest experience this year was on mobile apps, so that's why I'm talking about this. When building on mobile, you have the choice between two things: cross-platform technology or native technology. So to summarize it, native technology makes your app probably look better, makes your app faster, more smoother, and it lets you access native features like the Bluetooth in the phone or the camera or the microphone or the location. It's easier to access those things, but the cons are that you have to build one app for each platform. So if you want to build your app on Android and iOS, you have to build it twice with 2 different languages, as opposed to cross-platform, where you can easily write one app for both platforms. You can still use some of the native features, but not as well and not as easily, because you have to rely on mostly on third-party packages, and it's generally not as optimized and as nice as a native app. But this one is faster, it's cheaper, and it's way better for building quickly, testing fast, and then if you prove that your idea is worth it, that it's building you profit, is attracting your customers, then if it's not enough, if the cross-platform performance is not enough for you, you can move on to the native one. But the smartest thing is to just go cross-platform first and then go native. My fourth lesson is to build before learning. This is for every single developer out there, or maybe business owner who wants to learn development. Stop trying to look at so many tutorials, trying to learn all of coding before you build your project, before you build your app. Why? Because first of all, when you learn this much, let's say this much about coding, and you want to use this much for an app, you're gonna forget this part, and you're gonna still have to look while building. You're gonna still have to Google things, you're gonna still have to ask AI and ask other people, because you're not gonna be able to memorize all of this and have it like first-hand knowledge. Like, to this day, I have 8 years of coding experience, and after I use, for example, Flutter to build apps for maybe 6 months, I literally have to recap parts of the C++ syntax because it's so different, and I don't remember it. I know how to use it because I've used it before, but I don't memorize it. So instead of learning like this and then building this and still having to learn this, why not build this and this and this and this and this and this and this, and all of a sudden you've built all of these, you've learned exactly what you wanted to learn. But now you have, let's say, 8 or 10 projects that you have already built, and you already have experience. You already can call back upon those concepts that you have literally typed in your computer. Oh shit, my computer shut down. You have literally, look, You type the code. The code. And my fifth and final lesson is one that is incredibly important. I've learned this after wasting countless of hours during this 365 days of developing apps, and that is to not over rely on AI. If you use AI in this way, not only you're gonna be doomed, but you're gonna probably be replaced by it. I used to let AI code for me. I used to let it think for me, implement whole feature sets and function sets for me, and that only led to buggy code, headaches, just overall just a lot of problems. Why? Because AI is not a good creator, it's a good listener. If you're able to describe your ideas and literally the algorithm that you wanted to replicate, AI can probably code things faster than you. But that's the key word. AI can code things, it can't program things. The skill of actually imagining the system, imagining the logic, the algorithms, the instructions that you need to send to the computer still needs to be yours. The AI doesn't really have that skill. Not even $10,000 a month AIs can program things so well as humans do. Instead, what I like to do to maximize my use of AI in programming for clients and myself is to treat it as a teacher. Instead of over relying on it and letting it code for me, I treat it as this kind of 5-year-old that knows a lot, maybe even 70% of the internet, and can recall anything that I ask it within a moment's notice. So whenever I'm working with a new library or tech, I love to use it to explain to me new concepts. For example, I last used it to teach me how to use this FL chart library on Flutter to make statistical charts on mobile apps. I even let it write me an example of the chart, which of course it had bugs. Even the boilerplate had bugs and I had to fix it beforehand. It wrote legacy code from an outdated version of the package, and after it wrote that, I broke it down line by line. I asked it exactly what's going on with it, how it works, how it does that, how it does this, and it's really good at explaining that. And now I know how to use it myself and I don't have to use AI to code it for me. I know it for myself. I'm a more valuable programmer because of that. I have more knowledge, and I've successfully used AI to boost my programmer skills. If you need a website or an app and you're a service-based business owner, maybe you want to build an app to simplify some processes in your business, to save some time on outdated systems, then in the description you can book a call with me in which we can brainstorm some solutions and ideas for your business. If you want to book a call, then go right ahead and do it right now. If not, that's totally fine. But if you'd like to hear more tech strategy tips, productivity tips, tech business tips, like and subscribe, because I post 3 long forms a week and 1 short a day on this channel on those exact topics. My name is Bogdan and I hope you have a wonderful day today. See you next time.